Welcome to Egypt, land of the pharaohs and feasts. Where the pyramids stand tall, the Nile flows gracefully, and the food is amazing. It's a culinary adventure that will make you dance. Or nap, probably both. From the bustling streets of Cairo to the ancient temples of Luxor, Egypt is a feast for the senses. Get ready to tantalize those taste buds because we're about to unlock the secrets of Egyptian cuisine. Chapter 1: The Carb-Lovers' Paradise. Here we've got Koshary, the national dish of Egypt, and a culinary masterpiece that'll have you licking your plate clean. This isn't some dainty wee dish. This is a full-on carb explosion, and let me tell you, it's bloody brilliant. Imagine a mountain of fluffy rice, perfectly cooked lentils, and macaroni, all layered together like a beautiful, edible pyramid. Next, we're going to hit it with a tangy, spicy tomato sauce that'll wake up those taste buds. And as if that wasn't enough, we're topping it all off with crispy fried onions for a satisfying crunch in every bite. It is the ultimate Egyptian comfort food. It's like if carbs had a superhero meeting and decided to heroically join forces. It's more than just a dish. It's an experience, a celebration of Egyptian culture and cuisine. So, if you find yourself wandering the streets of Cairo, famished and in need of a culinary hug, look no further than a steaming bowl of koshary. Chapter 2: A Potion for Your Palate. We will talk about Molokhia, a dish as intriguing as its name. If you've ever wanted to eat something that sounds like a spell from a wizarding world, then Molokhia is for you. Made from leafy greens cooked in broth, often with chicken or rabbit. This dish might look like a potion. Don't let the appearance fool you. This vibrant green soup packs a punch. But wait, you might be saying, what does it taste like? Well, imagine a whimsical party in your mouth where okra, spinach, and a mysterious green wizard all came dressed in their finest robes. It's herbaceous, a tad slimy, in a good way, I promise, and absolutely delightful, especially when served with a side of bread that practically begs to soak up every last drop. So, if you're feeling adventurous and want to try something truly unique, give Molokhia a chance. Chapter 3: Egypt's Golden Falafel. Egyptian called it tameya, fried green bean patties that scream, were healthy, while, ironically, being deep-fried. It's Egypt's answer to falafel, made from fava beans instead of chickpeas, and this is not your average falafel. These little golden nuggets are deep-fried to crispy perfection, and they're packed with flavor. Made from ground fava beans, herbs, and spices, they're basically little balls of flavor dynamite. Imagine, you sink your teeth into a perfectly fried tameya. You get that satisfying crunch, followed by a burst of fresh herbs and spices. They're amazing on their own, dipped in tahini sauce, or stuffed in a pita with all the fixings. These golden nuggets are sold everywhere in Egypt, from street vendors to fancy restaurants. So, if you're looking for a tasty and satisfying treat that won't break the bank, then tameya is your go-to. Chapter 4: Veggies get a flavor upgrade. We will talk about Mahshi, which literally translates to stuffed, and boy, they really crammed a whole lot of flavor in there. Imagine vegetables hugging fragrant rice with a cozy blanket of spices. That's Mahshi. We're talking about vegetables like you've never seen them before. Just imagine tender zucchini, cabbage leaves, plump eggplants, vibrant peppers, and delicate grape leaves, all hollowed out and ready for their delicious transformation. Now, for the star of the show, the filling. We're talking about a fragrant mixture of rice, herbs, spices, and sometimes even mincemeat. The vegetables are carefully stuffed with this flavorful mixture, creating little edible parcels of pure joy. If you're looking for a dish that's both impressive and delicious, look no further than Mahshi. Hey folks, if you like what you see, don't just sit there like a potato. Like, subscribe, and think of it as a workout for your finger. Let's make those numbers pop. Chapter 5: A Symphony of Textures and Tastes. Here is Fatteh, a dish that's all about celebrating life's big moments. Imagine this: a bed of fluffy rice, generously doused in a rich, savory broth. But we're not stopping there. We're layering on tender chunks of meat, often lamb or beef, that's been slow-cooked to perfection. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we're hitting it with a crispy bread topping for that satisfying crunch. A drizzle of tangy garlic yogurt sauce adds a refreshing contrast to the richness of the dish. It's a symphony of textures and tastes, a culinary masterpiece that'll have you singing its praises. So, you want a dish that's as bold and exciting as a fireworks display? Then take Fatteh. Chapter 6: A Syrup-Soaked Slice of Heaven. Now, it's time to indulge in something sweet, and trust me, Basbousa is the queen of Egyptian desserts. This semolina cake is soaked in syrup, and I mean soaked. If a cake and a pool party had a baby, this would be it. The semolina cake has a wonderfully crumbly texture, which contrasts beautifully with the syrupy sweetness. And as if that wasn't enough, it's often topped with crunchy almonds or pistachios for an added layer of texture and flavor. It is the kind of dessert that you crave after a satisfying meal. It's often served with a cup of strong, aromatic Turkish coffee, which perfectly cuts through the sweetness. If you have a sweet tooth that needs satisfying, look no further than Basbousa. It's sweet enough to make your dentist schedule a second appointment. Chapter 7: A Golden Nest of Sweet Delights. Kunafa, a dessert that's as beautiful as it is delicious. Imagine thin, crispy strands of pastry layered together to create a golden nest. And what's inside this nest, you ask? Oh, just a creamy, dreamy filling that'll have you weak at the knees. The filling can vary, but it's often made with sweet cheese, such as ricotta or mascarpone, or a rich, nutty cream. It's then baked to perfection, creating a symphony of textures. Kunafa is often served during special occasions and religious holidays, like Ramadan. So, if you're looking for a dessert that's both impressive and delicious, then Kunafa should be your choice. Chapter 8: Little Pockets of Flavor. We're diving into the glorious world of Egyptian Sambousek, the Egyptian answer to the empanada or samosa. These tiny triangles of happiness that could make even a pyramid blush with envy. Allow me to paint a picture for you. Imagine a golden, flaky pastry cradling a deliciously seasoned filling, spiced meat, vegetables, or even cheese. Just remember, these crispy confections are as addictive as binge-watching your favorite series. One bite will lead to another, and before you know it, you'll be hiring an archaeologist to excavate the remains of your Sambousek stash. So, whether you're looking for a quick snack, a party appetizer, or just a tasty treat, Sambousek is here to satisfy. Chapter 9: The Egyptian Meat Lover's Dream. Calling all meat lovers, Hawawshi is here to rock your world. Imagine this: a pita bread stuffed with a mixture of spiced minced meat, often lamb or beef, onions, peppers, and a blend of aromatic spices. It's then grilled to crispy perfection, creating a symphony of textures and flavors that'll have you drooling. The meaty filling is juicy and flavorful, infused with the aromatic spices and the sweetness of caramelized onions. The pita bread, toasted to a golden brown, provides the perfect vessel for this flavor explosion. Hawawshi is often served with a side of tahini sauce, which adds a creamy, nutty contrast to the richness of the meat. So, if you're looking for a meaty, flavorful, and satisfying meal, then Hawawshi is your go-to. Just make sure to wear a napkin bib because the flavors may have you drooling like a toddler. Chapter 10: The Amazing Adventures of Egyptian Stuffed Pigeon, a Culinary Quest. If you think your last meal was unusual, let's take a moment to appreciate the unique culinary marvel that is Egyptian stuffed pigeon. Yes, you heard me right. Egyptian stuffed pigeon, or hammam, as the locals charmingly call it. Now, before you start flapping your wings in horror, hear me out. In Egypt, pigeon is revered as a delicacy. They are not just the winged rats of the sky, no. They've been celebrated as haute cuisine. Imagine fluffy little birds, but instead of fluttering around the park looking for breadcrumbs, they're being stuffed with rice, herbs, and maybe a sprinkle of magic. Those little feathery friends have a much grander purpose in life than just dodging kids with breadsticks. These delightful dishes are typically roasted to perfection, crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside, and probably plotting world domination in their spare time. But let's get serious for a second. The intricacies of preparing stuffed pigeon are almost as fascinating as the dish itself. You can fill these birds with all manner of grains, spices, and magic pixie dust. It's like a culinary game of Tetris. Everything fits perfectly to create this charming, edible masterpiece. Who knew pigeons could be so versatile? Sorry, street pigeons, you're just not cut out for the haute cuisine scene. In conclusion, if you're ever tempted to try something a little out of the ordinary, don't be afraid to give Egyptian stuffed pigeon a shot. Just remember, it's not just dinner, it's a whole new adventure. Who knows? It may turn you into a pigeon enthusiast. Just don't say coo too loudly around your dining companions. We wouldn't want them flapping away in fright. So there you have it, folks. The top 10 must-try foods from Egypt, guaranteed to tantalize your taste buds and possibly expand your waistline. From the carb-loaded goodness of Koshary to the sweet indulgence of Basbousa, Egyptian cuisine is a journey for the senses. So, go ahead, book that flight, explore the ancient wonders of Egypt, and indulge in the culinary delights this country has to offer. Just remember to bring an elastic waistband, you're going to need it. Remember, a like is just a tiny hug for my ego. And subscribing? Well, that's like sending my ego a full bear hug. So, what are you waiting for? Hit them both and let's have yummy adventure.